with a project for the Facebook group Loaded Envelope, Galore, and More. I have a project from jamieandjenn.com. It is their 8-piece pie and plate, and you can receive 30% off by using the code SECRETCELL, which is good until October 31st of 2019. I will leave all of the information in the description box below, a link to the store as well as a link to the file and the code SECRETCELL. So let's get started and I'll show you what I have. The SVG file they have does not include this little topper. That's something I just put extra in there. So I just created that on my silhouette. And it's just some banners. And I cut the word gathering from the paper pad that I used, which is a fall one from last year from Michael's. And I just put some of the little berries in there. And the pies are cherry, chocolate, pecan, lemon meringue, cherry, coconut cream, pumpkin, and apple. And did I say cherry instead of strawberry? So how the pies open are the crust opens from the back, so you're able to put goodies in there. And I think this would also make a great hostess gift. You could put some little chocolates or little goodies in there. It's quite sizable of what you can put in there. And I just wanted to show you what each one looks like. And the strawberry does come in the SVG file as well. And I forgot to mention the little whipped cream also comes with it. And I love the little chocolate chips they included. And even it comes with a little bit larger chocolate chips, so I just put a glue dot on the bottom to prop it up. Love the meringue coming down the side. And then the pecan, it's a little more difficult to get out because I have one pecan where it's hanging over. But look how they did their design for the pecans, and I used Distress ink in tea dye on everything, and I love the way it looks with the pecans. And I did add the dollop of whipped cream from the apple pie on top of the pecan. I felt like it just needed something, so, but you get everything, so you can do that. And then the lemon meringue piece came with all 6 of these. And each one has, you know, the crust on the side, the crust on the back, and then you use like the little fancy edge to use it to open it. And the cherry has a little cherry on the top with the lattice crust. And the cherries on the side. Just pops open. Let's see here. I've got whipped cream hanging over, so on that lemon, there we go, I had to slide it underneath. And I love the little curls, the little strips that they designed that you can curl with your bone folder to look like the coconut. And once again, it's got the whipped cream and the pie crust. I just absolutely love this set. And I had this paper in my stash, which I think looks amazing for the pumpkin pie. The leaves come with it, and then I took the opportunity to add a little tiny pumpkin. I think I got those from the Dollar Tree. I just thought it looked really cute on top of the pumpkin pie. And I think we started with the apple, but I think I mentioned the lattice on the top of it, the lattice crust. And I embellished every other one because it's an octagon. So every other one I put a bow, some leaves, a pine cone, some berries, some flowers. And I think most of these pieces came from Joann's this year. And I did wrap it in this burlap ribbon I had. And it was a little bit too wide, so I just pulled some strands and trimmed it. And then the strands I made into these cute little bows. I tied them about 3 times. And then I went over it with this orange organza ribbon. It's a tongue twister. Just to add a little bit of color on the outside, and then of course I used it to make my bows. So I'll just spin it around here. But this was a really fun project, and it came together fairly quickly. And I do have a tutorial for you all today, and I'm showing you how to make the apple pie. And the whipped cream took me just a little bit to figure out, so I wanted to make sure I showed you all how to do that. So make sure to check out Jamie and Jenn and the Loaded Envelope Galore and More Facebook group. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the tutorial. Pieces for the pie plate cutout. Since I am using one-sided paper, which the back's just plain, I cut out 2 bottoms and I cut out some strips to cover the sides, the back of them, and these are 2 1/4 inches. If you're using double-sided paper, you wouldn't need to do this, or if the paper wasn't heavy, you could do it just to make it more sturdy. And then on the Cricut, I had to slice one of the sections because it was too long. So I have just sliced it where I have 2 extra tabs. And I'm actually going to wait to attach this. I want to put these together first to make sure everything lines up before I go ahead and glue this down, just to make sure. The first thing I'm going to do is glue in our pieces, the 2 1/4 inch wide. I just want to glue those down so I will have decorative paper on the inside of my pie plate. And for this, I normally use art glitter glue. I'm going to use some fabric tack glue. It just has a little bit of what I call wiggle room to make sure everything's lined up. It doesn't grab quite as quick. This piece off. So there's one, and I'm going to go ahead and we will do the other ones. And I'll trim this piece off, and I'm going to hold off on trimming that piece because we do have to put this one there, but I'm going to wait. I just want to make sure that it reaches around nicely, and I can add this if for some reason it's not, since I sliced it. So now we will take one of our bottom pieces and we will glue the tabs to the bottom. So I'm just folding them over to get them ready. Making sure I get the right ones here. Okay. I'm going to start with the 2 that have the half tab because this is the one that I've added some to. I'm going to start at one of the corners right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them on top of this. And I'm using my art glitter glue for this. We'll just do a couple to get it started. So I want to come to the end of the corner and just line it up along. You can see the perforation marks. Just going to reach in, put some more glue on some tabs. I'm going to do about, let's see here, about 4 this time. I just wanted to do 2 to make sure I got it good and straight when I started. So I'm just going to fold this over so I can get it lined up. Okay. And just push them down. The glue. And then what I'll do here when I'm at the corner, I'm just going to kind of bend it a little bit so it will make the turn. How it's lining up along there, and then at this one we're just going to go ahead and bend it at that corner just a little bit. Like so. And since we're at the end, we'll go ahead and add our tab. Okay, so we're going to bring this piece over and we're just going to line it up. I'm just doing a test lineup before I put the glue, and it looks like it's going to go right about here. And it puts those 2 together. Then we'll come back down to the bottom and we're going to, fold that at the corner. Fold it here on the corner. And like I said, I just used some scrap paper for the tutorial. And we'll fold this corner just a little bit to get it to turn. And we'll glue. And we will glue. We better add our piece first here. So, put some glue on this portion right here. To get the corner, a little crease there in the corner like we've done the others. It's looking good. Here. And it looks like we're not going to have to add our little piece to that. So let's just double check. Nope, we're not. I'm just going to trim some of this off. And we'll glue down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 of them it looks like to get. Put that on the inside. Just get these lined up with the corners. We will flip these 2 tabs up. Put some glue on the bottom of them. We'll put some glue along the edge here. And now I'm just going to take glue and put along my top edge and fold it over, just like this. Okay, that looks good. There's one tab right here. It looks like it was coming up, so I'm going to put some glue there and right here, just to make sure. We'll do a test run, and that's going to fit in there very well. Pull it back up. I pushed it down too far. And on this, I'm going to use my fabric tack so I can have a little bit of wiggle room. When I say wiggle room, I just mean that I can slide it a little bit where the art glitter glue grabs so quick. Which most of the time that's what you want. So this is our pie plate, and like I said, don't look at my papers that I've used because this was just for the tutorial. Now we will do a pie piece, which I'm going to go ahead and do the apple pie so I can show you mainly how to put together the little whipped cream dollops. So I've got the pie crust pieces, the 2 side pieces for the apples, the crust for the top, the crust for the side, and then the whipped cream, and I'll show you how to put that together, and the piece of pie itself. So I've already put score tape on these edges here, the long edge and the short for the pie, and then this is our piece that opens on the pie so you can put goodies on the inside. And I have inked my edges, and I used Distress ink in tea dye, I do believe. So I've inked the pie crust and the apples. So the first thing we will do is we will put together our pie, or let's take off the front piece and just fold it in, and then we're just going to line this up, so, and then squeeze it together, and then we will peel this top piece part way back. Since it's such a long piece, I'm just going to line those up, hold on to it where I like it, and peel it off. And I like to run my bone folder on the inside on that seam to make sure it is sealed. And then I'm just showing you so it folds in like so. And then what we do is we glue this pie crust to it. So we're going to be putting it in between all the score marks. don't glue past that score mark. That's the top pretty edge of our crust. Just line it up with the bottom. Kind of lift it up so it doesn't go past, and then line the sides up. That looks good. Everything's still in place. Just like to make sure. And then when we close our pie, that crust gives us something to pull on and open it with. So we will go ahead and put our lattice crust on the top. And put this down here, get it centered up. And then I'm going to turn it over and run the bone folder to get it adhered. That looks good. It's still all lined up. So, then we'll put the side pieces on, and I'm just looking to make sure I have it the way I want. I cut it with the textured side up, so I want that showing outside on the outside, and I inked my edges a little bit. So let's glue this on. Let's do that, and once again, I'm going to lay it flat and go over it with my bone folder. We'll do this side. Oh, it goes like that. I want that straight cut up there, so we'll do that. And then we'll take our pie crust and put that over top our pie. I'm lining this up, and it does come past your pie. So what I did is I'm just going to go ahead and glue the other side, and then I'll just trim off the extra with my scissors. Just squeeze that in so it meets, the two pieces meet, two crusts meet in the front, and then I'm just going to snip that off. And then it meets right there in the very front of the pie, the point. I'm just going to run my bone folder all along both sides, or all three sides, the top and the sides. And that is our pie. That's how easy they come together. And this one, I think, had more pieces than any of them, so I wanted to show you how to do that, as well as the whipped cream. So the whipped cream, this is what it looks like. And it took me a little bit to get it to work. So what you do is you come in into the center, and I've got the short piece down in, and I'm bringing the taller piece over, and kind of catch right there where those two pieces meet. And then as you come around, just keep making it meet right there. So the long side's going to go to the top, and the short's going to go underneath this piece. And then bring this one in, and it hooks. And it may take a couple of tries to get it and get your paper worked. And then what I did once I got it together, I kind of smushed it in the middle, and that made it curl out a little bit. So we'll do it one more time. So I've got it with my short tabs facing to the right. You're going to bring that in, I'll bring one tab in, and then bring the second one in, and kind of get those where it's catching on that tab right there. And then bring the second one in, and just work your way around. And then bring the last one in, just fold it up and underneath, and then kind of push in the middle, and there's your little whipped cream. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you.